Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for this opportunity. There are certain things that go beyond politics, things that touch each and every one of us regardless of our party affiliation or ideology, and offshore drilling is one of them. Whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent, it touches each of us. And this is why South Carolina has been the leading voice in opposition to offshore drilling. We have a mixed delegation. We have a Republican governor, Henry McMaster, who has been opposed to offshore drilling. And that's what's brought all of us together here today regarding H.R. 1941, the Coastal and Marine Economies Protection Act. I am proud to lead this bipartisan legislation that would permanently remove the threat of offshore drilling from the Atlantic and the Pacific coast. After 2 years of developing an offshore oil and gas leasing program that would expose America's coastal economies and communities to the risk of oil spills and economic disaster, the administration announced that they are hitting pause because of a recent court case. At the same time, the administration is moving forward with allowing companies to search for oil and gas deposits using harmful seismic blasts in the Atlantic Ocean. And the Assistant Secretary of Interior, who's in charge of offshore drilling, said, and I quote, "We wouldn't work really, really hard to get seismic permits out if that area wasn't going to be available." This is exactly why we have to pass H.R. 1941. The tourism and fishing economies of the Atlantic and the Pacific, which depend on clean water and healthy beaches, are worthy, much more than whatever would be gained by needlessly drilling for oil and gas off of these shorelines. And let's not forget that tourism is a $22.6 billion industry in the Palmetto State, and it supports 1 out of every 10 jobs in South Carolina. These jobs are sustainable too. South Carolina is not going to run out of sunshine, and our tourism industry will not collapse if the price of oil goes down or changes. South Carolina does not face this threat alone, though. Every coastal state with thriving tourism, outdoor recreation, or fishing industries is in danger if drilling is allowed to take place off of its shores. The limited economic benefit that oil and gas exploration might provide is dwarfed by the ongoing importance of our sustainable economies that depend on clean beaches and healthy oceans. Oil is finite. Sunshine is not. Now, a major disaster off our coast, like what happened with the Deepwater Horizon, would decimate our states. Even in the absence of a huge blowout, chronic pollution from everyday operations, small spills, and the need to build onshore oil and gas infrastructure would permanently change the character of our coast for the worse. And frankly, there's no need to be drilling for our oil off our shores. We've heard today from numerous members that America is now energy independent, and we're sending 3 million barrels of crude oil overseas every single day. Concerns about energy independence are simply false talking points pushed by oil companies who only care about their own profits. The simple truth is, these days, the more oil we produce, the more we send overseas. Putting our shorelines, Folly Beach, Sullivan's Island, Florida's beaches, everywhere along the coastlines, in jeopardy of an oil spill, just so we can send a little bit more oil to Asia or Europe or other countries, is simply not worth it. This bipartisan bill reflects the tremendous importance that members of both parties put on healthy shorelines and the state and local economies that depend on them, and an acknowledgement that if we don't act, drilling rigs could appear off our beaches in just a few short years. This is a reality of the situation. The people of the Low Country understand that this risk isn't worth the reward. Our beaches and our economy are not up for sale. I'd urge my colleagues to vote for H.R. 1941. Yield back.